All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio, right here on Opera. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now today, we've got a gentleman in here. Now, we've run into each other, my God, it must be 30 times now
probably.
that we've seen each other, and I've become quite fond of you. And Tyler Madigan, if you guys don't know, you need to know. And he's with Carlile Lending, and we're going to be talking about who he is, what he does, and what's going on out there. So what's up, brother?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Finally got you.
I know, it took long enough for us to schedule this, but here we are.
I think it really just boils down to we're just busy people, dude.
Absolutely.
We're busy people. It was so funny because you scheduled with me, and then you're like, oh, I have a meeting that day. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, and that's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. And so whatever. You
Yep.
just keep going, keep moving, one foot in front of the other.
Exactly. I have friends of mine that they look at my schedule and they get overwhelmed just by looking at my schedule. So I totally understand it. We're busy people.
Now, is that on purpose? Do you want to be busy? Are you trying to escape your mind like me?
That's a great question. And I would say a little bit of both. I keep myself busy because it's I don't know. I keep myself busy because if I slow down, I get bored.
I get bored sleeping.
That's crazy.
I get bored, dude. I get bored, dude. And so like with the whole music thing, and I've got to always be working on like 30 projects, or I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I was at the networking events, and as soon as they start, they're like talking. Okay, we're gonna talk. I'm like, dip out the back. I'm standing there too long. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. It's just the way I am.
I feel it.
Do you get bored driving?
No, because I actually enjoy driving, but I don't really get bored because I'll usually listen to podcasts or I'm listening to a book or something going on. So it's usually
like relaxing driving, I'm all for it. Like if I'm going to the coast or something, I'm all for it. But like if I'm going to a meeting or whatever, my mind has got to be going. So I'm always like just calling people just to get caught up on things. So I'm like randomly going through my phone. I'm like, okay, I haven't talked to this person in a while, and just check up on them. And I'll spend the whole trip to my meeting just getting caught up with somebody.
See, I need to get better about that habit myself as well. I need to start just calling people from the car. But for me, it's a nice little escape a little bit because I'm always talking to people in my day-to-day that when I'm in the car, it's like, okay, I can put my podcast on, or I can put a book on and sort of just chill out for a little while. Yeah. But I do need to get back in the habit of calling people.
What are you listening to?
Oh, I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure if
that escapes your mind.
Yeah. It gives me a little laugh in the middle of the day. I like that.
What's your form of comedy? Who do you like?
I really like, right now, the two most common ones I'm listening to are, there's one called Stavi's World.
Okay.
There's a comedian named Stavros Halkias.
Okay.
And he's got a podcast. Absolutely love that one. And then there's another one. There's two gentlemen named Mark Norman and Sam Morrell.
Okay.
And they have a podcast called We Might Be Drunk, and that's another great one. So those are my two go-tos.
Have you seen Jeff R. Curry yet? Have you looked into Jeff?
I'm familiar with the name. I've seen his stuff on Instagram, like his clips, but I've never actually watched like one of his specials. Right?
I don't think he's done a special yet. His Instagram
really?
Is hilarious.
But
my wife went and saw him in San Francisco last year. Holy crap, dude!
I would love to go see him.
So good.
His clips are so funny.
So funny, dude.
Yeah.
And he's just so stupid. So him and my other go-to is Bill Burr. Because I have the most sideways sense of humor.
Burr's a classic.
So bad.
Burr's a classic.
And I keep I gotta quit reciting his crap in public because it's just so bad. I'm getting myself in trouble just reciting his jokes.
Another good one too, it's not quite a Bill Burr, but on the same line is Tom Segura.
Yes.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I would love to go see Tom.
Somebody is building an amusement park now. One of the big comedians. He's got a movie coming out, The Breadwinner Guy.
Yes. It's in the Middle East, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know. I'll send it to you though. The guy that's in the new movie Breadwinner.
Oh, I don't know.
Here, let me pull him up. Hold on.
Breadwinner.
Yeah. Here, Breadwinner movie. Nate Bargatze.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
and he
Nate,
wants to do an amusement park called Nate's World or something.
That's kind of funny.
It's so stupid and
That's
awesome.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. So apart from all of that, who is Tyler Madigan?
Yeah, who is Tyler Madigan? Well, besides for being a minor comedy nerd, I'm a mortgage broker. That's my sort of my day to day is helping people buy houses or refinance houses. I'm Sacramento native. I grew up here. I went to school here. I've worked here my whole life.
What do you think of Sacramento?
You know, I've kind of fallen back in love with Sacramento. Growing up here, I always wanted to leave. I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in Citrus Heights, and so for me, it was always kind of just.
You go to Mesa?
No, I went to Castle Roble.
Okay.
And then transferred out, or I'm sorry, not transferred, but when I graduated from high school, took a little time off, and then ended up going to Sierra College, and then transferred from Sierra to Sac State. So I've kind of done my whole school career around the sort of suburban and then Sac State area. And for me, it was always, I don't know, maybe just being in the suburbs, I wasn't a huge fan of Sacramento for a long, long time. And the sort of the irony that ended up happening was I went to New York about 5 years ago, New York City, and I loved being in the city. Like the city life was amazing. And then when I came back to Sacramento after that trip, I started spending a lot more time in like downtown, midtown, East Sacramento, and I started to kind of pick up on some of those city characteristics that I love.
Yes.
And that kind of brought me back to
I
Sac.
say Sacramento. I said this. I have literally been saying this since my very first radio show, and you can literally go back to the archives. But I say Sacramento is the greatest place on earth to live. I truly believe that, and it really comes down to of course California is California, and then the best city in California is Sacramento because we don't have floods. I mean, real floods. We don't have natural disasters. We don't have earthquakes here. The weather is great. The people is great. It's probably one of the most affordable places. You have access to everything you could ever. You want to go to the city. You want to go to the ocean. You want to go to the mountains. You want to go to the desert. You have it all right here. And so I think Sacramento is just the greatest place on earth.
I do wish that I went away for college, though. I wish I went somewhere else because I've only lived in Sacramento, and so maybe I have a little bit more of a jaded appearance on it, and that's why I said I fell in love with Sacramento because I think it's healthy to have time away.
Well, I grew up in the Bay, and then I moved up here. I moved up here for a girl and lived in Sacramento. Right. It's always and it's funny because when you're a starving musician, you're homeless if you don't have a significant other because all your money goes into guitars and strings and, gas.
I hear that. Yep.
And so, that's why I moved up here. And then once I started to learn about what Sacramento is, I've kind of become, like I said, an historian in a sense. And it's just such a cool place, dude.
It is. And I got to give Sacramento credit, especially within the last, let's say within the last 10 years.
10 years all day, dude.
We've seen a lot of new business.
Oh, yeah. Once they got rid of the downtown plaza and they built Doco, everything was a game changer. Yeah. Because we used to live downtown. We were in the tower, and then everything kind of went haywire during COVID, and you couldn't walk your dog because there was a tank would roll up on you. I mean, I remember all the weird lockdown stuff. That's why we moved up here. But my wife and we miss downtown like crazy.
Yeah. I had a sort of a short stint of time where I had to live in Natomas and it was great. I was there for about 6 to 8 months, and it was fine. It was necessary. I just needed to get a little temporary fix. But after that, I moved back down to Sacramento, and night and day difference. I love being in the city now. It's just great.
Yeah, it's so funny. When downtown people are downtown people, I try to get that up here.
It's not the same.
All right, so you're a mortgage guy. So what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm a mortgage broker. Like I said, I work with people that want to buy property or refinance property. A lot of the clientele that I've been working with are either first-time home buyers, or maybe they're moving up, buying their second home, buying their first investment property. I do a lot of educational stuff when it comes to the house buying process, and buying property, especially on the finance side, gets very complicated very quickly. There's a lot of hands in the cookie jar. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of acronyms, and so it can get very complex for somebody who's not studied real estate.
I remember when I was getting my mortgage license, my postcards or what are they? The flashcards were like
yeah.
a foot high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's all just a bunch of laws, and then you don't even really need to know them. But yeah, it's all good.
And the licensing, like the tests, sucked, dude.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah, because they would ask you the same question 5 different times,
Yes.
but 5 different ways in
Yes.
5 different scenarios, and then you're like, by the 3rd time, you're like, oh man, did I answer the last one right? And then you're going back, and you're finding out. Oh, dude, it's brutal.
And they do the loops too, because it'll be like, is this the best or not the best? And you're like, well, I don't. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? So,
oh my God, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Why are you so passionate about this space? I mean, there's a million things you could do. I mean, were you always a numbers guy?
I was, yeah. So growing up, well, yes and no. So growing up in school, I was always, math made sense to me. Math there was always a solution.
Yeah.
I gravitated towards that being like A plus B equals C. You know, that made sense. Going into some of the more philosophical stuff like English and things like that, where it was a little bit of a well, you could do this or you could do that. That was a little bit more confusing for me. And so math was something that was very prominent. And then sort of ironically, kind of how I got into this business was when I was in high school, my mom was exploring some alternative ways of making money. And that included online stores, it included stock trading, and it also included real estate investing. And so she bought into a course to learn how to invest in real estate, and she drugged me along while I was still in high school to just kind of attend. And now I had no idea anything about even real estate as a topic until I went to those. Yeah. And that's kind of what started me along this journey to where I am now.
Now, how were you in terms of a student? Were you a class clown? Were you a bookworm?
I would put myself somewhere in the middle. I was not. I was like a, let's say like a 3.4 GPA kind of
good
student.
Lord, that's so good.
No,
I was a 1-something.
Okay,
bro.
that's bad. But no, I was
a rock star, man. I played music, and I didn't bring a backpack to school, and I never had a pencil, and but I always had my guitar. And I had a guitar pick hanging out of my mouth. That was just me.
Hey, I played guitar in high school and pre-high school, in high school, and out of high school too. So I get that. I feel it. I was
all
way,
rock
man.
And roll, man.
Absolutely, I had the long hair. Absolutely, I wrote music all the time.
Did you really?
Yeah,
you had
absolutely.
long hair.
Oh yeah. I just got my new ID. But my old ID, you could see it. It was all the way down to my shoulders.
No way.
Yep.
Why did you cut it?
Girlfriend.
Oh,
yeah.
That's BS.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you moved for a girl. I cut my hair for a girl. I think that there's a slight difference there.
I actually packed up my entire life and moved to the town of Bishop once for a girl.
See, and you're judging me for cutting my hair? Come on now. And you know how they do it too. They go, you would look really nice if you got a haircut. And I'm like, well, okay.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Did you do the motorcycles yet?
Nope.
You haven't gotten to that phase yet?
I haven't gotten to the motorcycles.
See, I grew up with the motorcycles, so I did motorcycles all as a kid, and then, I always wanted my M1 and all that, and so it was my 30s. I think I had my midlife crisis early, and so, I just one day, I was just like, I'm just going to wear ripped jeans and buy a bike, brother, and just started rolling with the motorcycle groups. And,
Hell yeah.
And I did it for a number of years, and I just looked like crap and wore a backwards hat. I'd pull up to a client meeting, and I'd have like a ripped shirt, a ripped pair of pants, and Converse, and a backwards hat, and roll up on my Harley. All right, we ready to do this?
Hey, respect. I went the sports car route for me.
I did that. What was your go-to?
I mean, well, so I owned, I don't even know if you'd technically consider this a sports car, but...
Miata?
No, close though. My buddy owned a Miata. But,
I had one. It was awesome. I loved that car.
His was great. I loved his too. But I bought a Nissan 240SX. It was the first car that I ever bought.
Those are good cars.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. We started modding it.
Yes, absolutely.
Putting the big wheels and tires on it, sitting on the ground. It was great until it started breaking.
Oh
and then after that, I bought the 350Z, which I loved that car. I loved it. That thing was great.
Do you think that those are like future classics? Should I consider something like that?
That's a great question.
Because it's got a good interior too. The interior's not dated at all.
No, I'm gonna lean towards like no, because yes and no. It's got what we call drift tax, which means it's rear wheel drive and you can get it in manual transmission. And so
my neighbor's got a Skyline R34
in
here.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
purple. right hand drive, the whole bit.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I have a meeting with,
and he accelerates and it's.
Yep. Oh yeah. I have a client of mine actually. He's got an event coming up, and he bought I think maybe 2 of them, or maybe it was he bought I know he has a Skyline, but then he also bought I think an old a Sylvia from Japan. Imported that.
Yes,
that was really cool too.
Yes,
he ended up selling it and bought a Porsche, but whatever.
I did the Porsches. I had 3 Porsches, and people say, "Oh, they're not really Porsches if they're Boxsters. They're Porsches.
Still got a logo on it.
Own them."
Yeah.
Own it and drive it. It's a Porsche. Maintain it. Oh, it's a Porsche.
Yeah.
It's all Porsche all day long.
Yeah.
You know, oh, it's slow. No, it's not. Not if you know how to drive it. It's not. That car was nuts, dude. That car was nuts. Yeah, I had an '01. It wasn't even the S model. It was an '01, and let me tell you, dude, there was a time. It's been enough. We're past the statute of limitations now, so I can say this on the air. But there was a time I was on 80. And passing West Sac, and there's a cop on the shoulder. And I was on the phone with my now wife, but we had only been dating, like 2 months maybe. And I was like, oh shit, a cop. And I was like, hold on a minute. I put my phone down, I drop it into third and punch it. And you know, like 140. I mean, it's a Porsche.
Yeah.
But one time I raced this 911, and I swear to God, dude, okay, I'm on him, right? I'm on him on this 911, and all of a sudden blue flames start shooting out of his exhaust, and he was like this big, bro. He was so calm.
Yep.
He must have been going like 200 miles an hour. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I'm already going 95 or 100, and this thing goes
just takes off.
Like not even like I was sitting still, bro.
Yep. You know what's crazy about that too is that like, so I've got coworkers of mine that own Teslas now, and then just recently they're so fast, and I hate to admit it because I'm a petrol head. I like motors, I like engines.
So fast.
They're so fast. I have a friend of mine that just took me on a ride. They just bought an R8, a V10 R8, and beautiful car, all blacked out.
Yeah,
love it. Sounds great, but she took me on a ride.
You can't compare.
It's a little disappointing.
Yes,
it's a little disappointing.
You can't compare with the Tesla because you're driving a Tesla, right?
No, I drive a BMW.
What do you have?
I have a 5 Series. I got the big model though.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I got the big V8.
Yeah.
So gas prices these days, it's my nightmare.
I know. Yeah, well, it's my little niece. She's got the 5 Series with the diesel. Diesel's like $8 a gallon in Rockland. Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah, but she's getting better gas mileage than I am.
She is. But no, the Ross Rushton. You know Ross Rushton? Mortgage guy here in town. So he bought one of those the Model 3s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a number of years, like 4 or 5 years ago now. But he goes, here, I want to take you for a spin. I'm like, get out of here. Dude, that thing scared the crap out of me. Yeah. Dude, that car was so damn fast, dude.
The one thing, the one like caveat to, because I'm a petrol head, but they do tap. They have like a top speed though. So that's like one of the things that us petrol guys still got going for us is that we still got top speed.
I don't know. I'm in a little 3-cylinder Buick.
There you go.
And I'm just chilling, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I had 8 Mercedes, 3 Porsches, 2 BMWs. And among other cars, I had a Mustang Bullet. If you're familiar with the Mustang Bullet,
not the Bullet, no.
So that's the Steve McQueen car.
Oh, okay.
You know, from the movie Bullet. I had one of those, and so I've had some freaking wild cars, and so now I'm just driving my little 3-cylinder Buick, and I'm happy as
there you go.
My last service was $112.
Yep. My brother-in-law, he's also a car guy. He's more of an off-road car guy, but he'll tell us to this day the best car he ever owned was a diesel Passat.
I have heard that.
Isn't that crazy?
I've heard that. And the Touareg, the Volkswagen Touareg.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They say that's the best SUV ever made is the Volkswagen Touareg.
Interesting.
Yeah. Diesel.
Wouldn't have thought that. Yeah.
Diesel.
Yep.
The best cars.
Yep.
Volkswagen
I mean,
diesels.
you drive past it and you wouldn't even know it's there. It looks like a piece of crap, but he said the best car he's ever owned.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
What types of clients are you looking for, brother?
Yeah, great question. So clientele basis, I think I may have mentioned already, but I do gravitate a lot towards first-time home buyers, and so that's definitely a group that I, when it comes to training and helping and educating, first-time home buyers are definitely my go-to. I also am looking for clients that are, I like to call it in the higher educated career platform. So for example, things like nurses, doctors, attorneys, dentists, anything that required a little bit of additional education to achieve their current position. I tend to gravitate really well to those clientele as well.
Educated people.
Yeah, but
they have more skin in the game. That means that they have better follow through.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, though, somebody like an engineer, again, higher education, I don't gravitate towards as much.
Why is that?
I think it's because engineers tend to be very analytical, and I'm not, even though I said I'm a math guy, I'm not that extremely analytical.
We used to shoot video. Our sponsor is Blinds of Sacramento. We still shoot her video, but she would send me out to client locations and say, hey, I want you to do a testimonial, video testimonial with so-and-so client. I go, okay, great. And so, she calls me up one day and she goes, all right, I'm going to send you out to this guy's house. He's an engineer and he talks a lot, just FYI. And I'm yeah, but I talk a lot. No, this bro on a different level talks a lot. He's like, one of the reasons why that I picked Blinds of Sacramento and their window coverings is because they had 14.6 degree of he's just pulling like, I'm like, holy smokes, dude. Yep. He goes, when I was looking at the degree of the way this was shaped and the way this was moving, and then it would fit within 14/16 of an inch between the and I'm just like, bro, it's not that complicated. It's blinds, dude.
Yep. I hear it.
And he spoke for like 45 minutes. It's supposed to be a testimonial. How do you cut that down?
I don't know. That's...
I'm sure. I think we still have it. I think we got it down to like 16 or 18 minutes or something.
Hey, there you go. That's pretty impressive for a 40-minute interview.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's just the way they think. They're just on a whole different level, dude.
Yep.
A guy that builds bridges, there's a reason why he builds bridges.
Yeah, true. I mean, and that's a crazy thing. Like in real estate, there's a lot of moving parts, and so I mean, even you're familiar with, but with the mortgage industry a little bit, but there's all these moving parts, and that's the one thing that I've had like the hardest time with somebody like an engineer is they want to know exactly. They're like exactly what you're saying, like 14.6, and I'm like, well, it's between 13 and 16, and they're like, no. What is the actual number?
Well, the other side of it, though, especially in the mortgage, you're like, okay, well, if my payment is this, the interest rate is this, what if I bought my rate down? So now they're looking at, okay, well, if I bought my rate down this much, it's going to be this much for, if I don't do this, it's going to cost me this much more over the life of the, and they're like doing all these, like, I can only imagine what their sheet of paper looks like. Yep. It's like a mad scientist chalkboard with
I had a guy once, he literally sent me over, he's an engineer, and he sent me over a spreadsheet that he had built, almost doing that same thing, but it was more about like where his money was coming in. He's like, okay, I've got money coming in from this account, and this account, and this account over here is growing at a 4.6% interest rate, and if I move money over here, like, what does this look like? And I'm like, dude, you lost me.
You throw it all into AI, and you say, give me an answer.
I literally say, how much money do you want to spend? And I will roll with that. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, but it's good, though.
Talk to me about Emerging Sacramento. How long have you been doing this? What is this?
Yes.
I mean, I know what it is, but the audience might
Absolutely. Not. So for those that are unfamiliar, Emerging Sacramento is a networking group that I run with a couple of business colleagues of mine. We have technically been around... we're coming up on our sort of our technical 1 year for Emerging Sacramento. Okay. It's coming up soon. Our group was actually... partially created before that, so we've been unofficially going for about 2 years.
When we first started going to your event, we went to that pool one where we all were melting.
Yes.
Was that one of your first events?
That was one of our first ones after we branded to Emerging Sacramento. Correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kind of had a little bit of something that we were trying prior to that, and we rebranded to Emerging Sacramento, and I think that was the second or third event under Emerging Sacramento's title. And yeah, that was brutal.
We were dying, bro.
It was like 110.
And we're all in sport coats.
Yep. We're just all getting cooked around the pool. There was like one little tiny corner of shade, and everyone just hung out there.
Frank and I, we found a table with an umbrella, and we were just sitting there and wait for people to come walk over to us.
Yeah, in our heads. So when we toured that location, it was about 4 to 5 months earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because of the season, the sun was setting earlier. And so when we toured it, we were like, oh, perfect. It's going to go behind the building, like next door. Yeah. It'll be fine.
You thought about all the things, but...
Didn't think that in the middle of freaking July or whatever, that it would be sun halfway up the freaking sky still.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was a
hot day.
That was a hot day. But it was fun, though. We had a really good time on that one. There's a handful of us that stuck around afterwards, and We had a lot of fun. But yeah, Emerging Sacramento. The idea behind it was really to create, like, so our target, if you will, is business owners, entrepreneurs, and creative leaders in the community that have usually been within about 5 to 7 years of their practice. And the idea was that, and I know these stats have kind of changed over the years, but I always grew up with the assumption that businesses will fail within the first 5 years.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yep, exactly. And so our theory was, if we could start connecting people together that are right around that time where maybe you've had a little bit of success in the beginning and now you're kind of plateauing a little bit, if we could make that one connection that takes you from plateauing to keep growing and keep building your business, that's what we wanted to do. And so that's what kind of drives Emerging Sacramento. I mean, we're open for everybody. We don't limit. If you've been in business for 20 years, we don't care. Come out, have fun. But that was sort of our designing factor behind it.
Now, there's a networking group. I still haven't. No one's told me who and how to get in contact with these people, but I love the model, and multiple people have now told me that I need to be in this group, but it's you're only allowed in the group if you've gone bankrupt.
Oh.
Meaning if you've started a business and you've gone bankrupt, that means that your mind is different and you've already gone through those steps.
Right.
And you know how to rebuild and come out of that. And so I'm like, I'm all in. That's cool.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
I do fall into that category.
Hey,
My business is 30 years old now.
Right.
30 years.
Wow.
And so when you're looking at, the steps and where everything's at, and so when I'm building today, like I was showing you what we're doing with Opera and with the magazine, that's 30 years of working with businesses, of my own issues, failures, the ego problems. We all run into that.
Sure.
And so, they're phases. And so when you come from nothing and then you finally become successful, you feel like that you've made it. And then, the world owes me something now because I've made it. I've earned my place. Bro, you ain't nothing. But in that space, you feel like you are, and so you end up with these different phases, and that's what we see at these networking events is people that are in these different phases.
Absolutely.
And so that phase is the pre-bankruptcy phase, and then after you've eaten some humble pie, then you come out and you're like, oh man, dude, I was nothing. But you have to experience that part of life in order to excel, and most people give up.
And what was the name of this group?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. It's a group that basically it's you're only allowed in the group, and you have to pay dues and all that stuff, but you're only allowed in the group if you've gone bankrupt in business.
Interesting.
Yeah. But multiple people have come to me and said it, and then I go, how do I get in contact with these people? Oh, I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. And then I never hear anything, and then somebody else will mention it to me, and then I'm like, how do I get in contact with these people? Oh, well, it's almost like don't ask, don't tell kind of thing.
Sure.
It's like, how do you become a member of the Hells Angels? You don't.
Right.
Yeah, no, seriously. And so, so with everything that I'm doing with our membership and all these different things, I understand the different phases that people are in. And so they're coming in, and if their ego is, in it, it's okay for us to have an ego. We have to have an ego. I have an ego. You have an ego. We all have an ego. That's pride, right? But when it becomes detrimental,
right,
it's when it becomes a hinder that's preventing you from growing or scaling, because now you're not ready. You're not ready for that next phase. And so, it's very complex, and we don't have, we're at 28 minutes. We don't have the next 40 minutes to really discuss this subject. But the point is that, with what you're doing, with what we're doing, we really are trying to give the right people, the ready people, that space.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy about that too. I'm sure it's the same thing across all the boards, but we were talking earlier before we were on air that it's about showing up. It's about showing up to the events and being in attendance, and I think that is something that we've definitely learned from running our own events as well. Is that those that show up, even if it's not every month, but they show up on some kind of consistent basis, they're getting so much more out of.
I know
anything that you do,
I know,
right?
No.
So
I call it show up or get jack. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And even if you show up for 10 minutes, you still showed up.
Yeah.
But the people that are sitting on their couch, but those are always the people that'll come to me down the line and go, how's business? Oh, business is so slow. Okay, but what are you doing to change that?
Right.
Because there's a lot of people making a lot of money right now.
Right. You know what? This is sort of a random thought, I suppose, but again, kind of thinking about this networking and social space. just sort of a random recommendation. We were talking earlier again about attending all these different events and going to different things and meeting with, and I know me and you are great about this. We'll look at our calendars and probably have like 20 events for a month. It's not that big of a deal for us.
I know.
But I do want to, just in case somebody...
get bored.
Yeah.
What the hell else am I going to do?
But just in case someone out there is listening and they're like, damn, I'm not really doing a lot of this social stuff, or I get overwhelmed or whatever. One of the things that really, really helped me in the beginning was I picked 3. I picked 3 events, 3 groups that I was going to be a part of. And because I was burning myself out, I'm driving all over town, meeting people. I'm not building genuine relationships because I'm not spending time with these people. And so I picked 3 events. It just happened to be 2 Chamber of Commerces and then an association that I'm a part of as well. And that was what I prioritized. I said, okay, if these 3 groups are doing an event, I'll be there. And if they're not, I get a night off, or I get a week off, or whatever. Or if something comes up.
But what about the people that are like, oh my God, I can never walk up to a group of people and introduce myself? I say, here's the solution to this.
Well, I got tips for that too.
Yes. You go to the event, you grab a chair, and you just sit.
Yeah.
That's it. You grab your business cards, you set them in front of you, and you just sit there. And I guarantee people will walk up to you, which then now they're in the dominant position, and then they'll sit down, and then you're going to have a better conversation. You're going to meet less people, but you'll have more meaningful conversations if you just sit and you don't go, hey, what do you do?
Well, and I mean, if you're in a networking space, everyone is there for the same reason.
I know.
We're all there to meet people, build connections, and do business.
But some people are freaking out.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I would say just if you can start with one.
Yeah.
Just shake one person's hand. Then you start to realize that wasn't that bad. And then 2, and then 3, and then all of a sudden you know the entire room.
And then you hijack conversations.
Right. I mean, and we've built all kinds of. We're actually thinking about maybe even doing like a little like a series about how to network and then how to capitalize on your networking, because that's another thing that happens quite frequently too. Is like I might meet you, we might exchange business contacts, and then or business cards, and then I forget who you are, right?
But the other side of it though is again, what do you do after that business card?
Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
It's those lifestyle events. We're gonna go hang out at Ferrari. Somebody pulled me aside the other day at one of the events, and he goes, "So what's the point of the Ferrari thing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What's the point of it?" He goes, "What do you get out of it?" We're hanging out at Ferrari. He's like, yeah, but are you getting paid for that? I'm like, no. He's like, so why do it? And I'm like, wait, you only do things to get paid? It's just freaking awesome, dude.
Right. Yeah. It's like going and playing golf. Like, if I'm going to go play golf and someone says, why are you going to do that? Like, because it's fun. Like,
like, what? We're going to go hang out and look at Ferraris all day.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, there is a plus, like being self-employed, I can bring my colleagues out and call it a tax write-off. But at the same time, I'm doing it for fun.
Yeah, no, seriously. Absolutely. All right. So Tyler Madigan, Carlile Lending, 916-532-1326, 916-532-1326. TylerMadigan.CarlileRealty.com. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Oh, man. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. I'm available. I'd love to chat about anything mortgage, real estate, or networking related.
Absolutely. 916-532-1326. Dude, thank you again for being here.
Absolutely.
And, of course, thank everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.